I thought the
Syra
old
Gardens.
Dennis outlawed Underwood export to protect the trees.
Can't keep track of all the decrees.
As we are trying to get into a laboratory now. Fresh off of a Wisdom Tooth Saturday.
But what's the point of buying wood from a country you never
We just got our
visit?
Wisdom Tooth pulled today.
Shisha has money.
So I'm feeling too shabby right about now.
I'll get the cigars tomorrow. Wanna buy one?
Sure. I'm the first one to admit that I'm scared. And then I said, I'm scared.
No. Oh,
No, it's a civilian. Okay.
shop's closing. This week, my favorite bakery. Gone. Between the flies and the filth, it's getting hard to breathe around here.
If you start any shit around here, we're jumping in.
Why would we start some? We're not gonna start nothing.
You act like you still can, stranger.
Is someone
I
there?
won't let you get away so easily.
What's happening
You
now?
think you're so superior, huh?
I don't want to die.
Ah, we're jumping in just like you said.
Take that.
What was that? Show yourself. What the?
You're surrounded. She can't escape. You aren't going anywhere. I can't see any way to reach her.
I hit hard.
It's no use.
Take
Next
this.
time.
Work it away.
More.
I know you shouldn't be here.
I'll break your face. You had it coming.
How did they find us?
Huh?
Someone is asking for trouble over there.
What happened here?
Hello?
What's the matter? You saw
Anybody? Don't make me search the whole place. I don't have time
going
for
on
that.
Shit!
Hey,
Top
you.
the bank!
Give us
Go
what you
for
got.
it!
Not
She won't
your
go
lucky
anywhere.
Time to die. Let's see what you got.
Finally know your place.
What was that? I don't know what that was. It was like a red pepper bomb or something.
Down this outlawed underwood export to protect the trees.
They can't keep track of all the decrees. Clients refurbishing her gazebo, adding to the design.
I keep forgetting about that far reach.
What's going on here?
Where'd you disappear to?
Please take a look around. We have the best wares for discerning guests such as yourself. Greetings. Welcome to my shop. Say, an acquaintance of mine is supposed to be holed up in an office overlooking the Royal Conservatory. Check on them if you're headed that way. I'd check myself, but the streets are locked down. I'd make it worth your time.
I'll think about it.
See anything you like? Welcome back. Please, take your time.
Magnetized bullet.
Let's see. I have some upgrade plans for your gear.
Faster reload.
Bloodflies are worse here than any district in Kanaka. And it used to be such a prosperous district, too. An excellent choice. I'm certain you'll be satisfied with your purchase. No need to wrap it for you, I suppose.
Shopkeeper's cousin once attended a lecture in a building directly across from the Royal Conservatory.
The district
Now
is so
infested with
quiet
blood
since the
flies.
conservatory was
He knows
closed.
the combination safe there.
It was a pleasure to serve you.
Rat shadows open up new pathways. While in stealthier form, you can pass through rat tunnels. It leads you to remote areas, allows you to bypass hostile encounters. Assassinate up to 2 enemies before returning to physical form. Move faster while in stealthier form. See better in darkness. Observe living beings through walls. Increase jump height and distance. Throw objects further. Increase health. Craft your own unique bone charms. Craft your own bone charms by selecting a combination of mystical traits, spending raw whalebone as a resource. Trait effects are cumulative. If you use a trait more than once, its effect stacks become stronger. Sometimes bone charms get corrupted during crafting and will have negative traits. Bone charms with 3 or 4 traits more likely to be corrupted. Sacrifice bone charms to discover new traits. Sacrifice bone charms to discover new traits. Trait available. Craft bone charms with 2 traits. Elixirs increase the area of effect for stun mines. Raw whalebone carried. We need 1 more. No chance of corruption. Bone charm crafted increases the effect of stun mine. So what did it craft and do? Sometimes drinking restores all mana. Read the journal.
Welcome back.
I'm not letting you in.
Take your time.
I wonder who that was. Hey, you! Ow!
She won't go anywhere.
No use running!
Time to...
Oh, you
Little shit! Think you look tough? I'll crush you!
Rat skewer. Everybody's eating rat. Door is blocked.
You sure I saw someone there? You'll get a penny for his death!
You won't get away!
There we go, as long as we get our crossbow back. We are good. Copper wires. Windmill operation. Check windmill speed. Windmill only turn with sufficient wind. Danger, high wind may overcharge security systems. Sure your gear works to free up debris. Oil mechanism in ordnance with schedule. Remove nesting animals or vermin such as birds, rats, or blood flies. During emergency, disengage a windmill using lever located in maintenance platform. With windmill disengaged, check wooden blades for cracking or loose supports. Wax wooden blades in ordnance with schedule. Periodically, gears, blades, and other parts must be reported or replaced as specified in Section 10. Door is blocked.
Damn it. I need to pee. Who are you? Stop!
Come back here!
You've been found guilty of standing in my way
Let me
for mercy.
demonstrate how I earn my up. Protect your captain, damn it!
Don't
You
let
can't
her
escape.
escape! You aren't going anywhere! You're surrounded!
I'm wiping off
See
your
what you
blood.
got.
I'll kill you for that.
Later, I'll be laughing over rum about how you died!
Battery's dying. I think we ran through all of our batteries.
Never mind.
Pretty sure I saw someone.
Come back here! What? There! No use running!
You won't get away!
Hard to get a good lungful.
Really?
Time to collect
You aren't
this
going
bounty!
anywhere. Take this!
I'll get the cigars
I've
tomorrow.
got just the
One
thing
by
for
one.
you.
Nah, not this time.
You think you're clever, huh? He won't go far! So dead.
Hold still!
You had it
Here
for
it comes, you coward!
Gunshot? What was that? No, I don't want to die. Hey, where do you think you're going?
This can't be. Yeah, run, coward.
I know you're here somewhere.
I'm guilty of getting my way.
Empress or not, she's gonna bleed all the same. Let me guess. That's her again. I sure hope she's not around anymore. I'm not in the mood.
Hey, what happened here?
Figure out how to get into that well.
The outsiders, Harry Ark! Not for mercy! Stand back!
I'll be back in a few days. Continue to compile information on Brianna Ashworth's activities. Despite the odd letter we received from our oracular sisters in Calerio, I'd like them to use a proclamation without certainty. But I know I'm right about Ashworth. My gut tells me she's a threat. That said, the Howlers are my priority. This conflict with Paolio could affect the influence in Karnaca for years to come. Years in Strictors, Vice Overseer, Leon Prime. Here we go.
Brianna Ashworth, curator of the Royal Conservatory. For a while, I've believed Ashworth has some connection to the occult in Karnaca. Something is happening that I don't understand. The Overseers are the forward face of the Abbey, but equally important are our sisters from the Oracular Order. To be direct, I suspect something is wrong within their sect. Subtle changes to the types of proclamations they've been making. Small, but troubling deviations from tradition. But publicly saying anything along those lines will get me accused of heresy by my rivals within the Abbey. Is it possible that Ashworth has infiltrated the Oracular Order?
So Vice Overseer Byrne thinks Ashworth is interfering with the Oracular Order. If true, it's another reason she has to be eliminated.
Much has been said about the blind six sisters of the Oracular Order. In truth, their eyes function just as well as yours or mine. However, they do endeavor to become blind to distractions and frivolities. Frivolities. That's another new word. You gotta get your vocabulary up. Frivolities, let's see what that is. They will, if necessarily, bind them, walks among us wearing richly hued blindfolds, otherwise covering their eyes. In this way, they remain at all times ready to see things clearly. Decisions are made during cloistered gatherings, though no others are permitted to observe. The process was well described to me, so I render it here with permission. Are we saying it right? Frivolity. Frivolities. Lack of seriousness. Lightheartedness. Lack of seriousness. lightheartedness. They do endeavor to become blind to distraction, lack of seriousness, frivolity. Though no others are permitted to observe, this process was described to me, so I render it here with permission. A room is prepared with heavy incense and blessings from the strictors. In a circle sit 30 or more sisters of our order until the room is brimming. We will hear no topic, lest we have each had adequate time to research. Several outcomes will be discussed. Some sisters are specifically tasked with advancing less popular or unlikely scenarios. It is not permitted to remain silent. Every voice must be heard. It may take some time to arrive at a decision. By then, all are quite versed in myriad consequences and may have lengthy advice for all contingencies. When an opinion is written, it may be as short as a sentence or fill 20 pages, yet still one last sister must approve it. High Oracle herself. I'm not sure what myriad means either. Myriad. A countless or extremely great number. Countless or extremely great number. Myriads. Networks connecting a myriad of computers. Similar to multitude, a lot, sources, myriad. He has a myriad amount of counterparts.
Makes me so nervous. What was that? You won't get away. Done. I'll get you a. Come back here. It can't be. Wait, this isn't.
How are we supposed to get? Oh, there we go. You rewire.
Well, misery. Not impressed.
Keep your defense up! Here, I'll be... No, she's wounded! Let's finish her!
Why did you do that?
I know you're here somewhere.
Where is she?
Oh!
That was who I think it was.
Over here!
Don't let her escape!
Already! Coming!
I've fighting scum like you since I put on the uniform!
Karnaka, my Karnaka. Brothers and sisters of hot blood. Did anyone ever find out what happened to Burleson and Lieutenant Colby?
So let's see. What's left?
She's back. I'll find her.
Someone is asking for trouble over there. She's still alive. I need to fix that.
Let me guess. It's her
There's
again.
a break. You can open his wrists for all I care. Did you bring me something? The silver cigarette case like we agreed?
No, listen, I won't steal anything else. I'm lucky to have room and board at one of the finest places in Karnaka. I can't lose this job.
Oh,
Show
really?
yourself.
You like being a servant? Polishing and dusting.
The place smells of lavender and antique furniture. Not like the dust district where the soot makes your teeth gray.
Is that any way to talk?
Somewhere inside the Royal Conservatory.
You again! Step back!
Oh, damn!
Can't see any way to reach her!
See, my lovelies. They're all back. Like I told you. Good reads.
Somebody's down!
certain I saw one of the students at my lecture writing down the combination for my safe. A silver spoon. Elliot, who wants to make a career as a newspaper journalist. He's chosen a fitting career. His snobby cousin operates the black market shop nearby, so it must run in their well-heeled family. Now I need to ask Margaret to change the combination to my safe. Share students and learned colleagues. Have you not heard of the tales of the Serkonos and the beauty of its people? I pose questions today that I hope to answer in great deal. Let's start with the ones commonly asked by travelers for decades. Does the warmer climate affect the spiritual outlook of a people? Are those born in Tyvia morally and Cristal possessed of a more taciturn nature to the geographic and meteorological conditions of their birth? Are these subjects influenced by the obscure currents of warmer water and air that are channeled across the dreadful ocean, Pansean continent itself, Pandesian? We know so little about that far land. In my travels, I have been impressed. The commonality shared across all cultures, but also in the differences. My goal to illuminate these areas of inquiry, and I will share at least one spicy zirconian recipe with you. The day is gone. Caleb Manley, natural philosopher. We just got a new bone charm. Pulling enemies towards you with far reach is now stealthy and quiet. Say the safe combination. 884.
People of Karnaka, this is the Duke. Some of you have questioned the stricter mining quotas and the new taxes being levied by the Grand Serconian Guard.
Silver
Let me
in
answer all of this rabble-rousing at once. Disloyalty and sedition will not be tolerated. Look at Duncan Bales, my good friend. He's a patriot, a man who won't stop until he has turned every bit of this land's silver into shiny coin. I asked him to double the number of mine workers, and he did it. No questions, no complaints. Karnaka needed miners, and he produced them. That's the Serconian spirit. no use running.
Back here. Come on.
You aren't going anywhere. You won't get away.
She won't go far.
Just around. Oh.
What do you think you're scaring me?
Damn it!
Assignment. For one with your unique talent, I'd like you to retrieve the old Rossborough prototype on display at the Royal Conservatory. It's likely well protected, but I'll double the finder's fee. Bring it back to me at the shop, Envy.
Need to find out how a sword through the heart wasn't enough to kill our new Empress, Delilah.
So Delilah took a sword through the heart, and yet she did not die. Is Delilah a vampire? $150 for that silver egg.
over there! Let's hear how you die! Rusty wire, poke the skin! How do you want to die? I have clue. Come back here!
What are those things? Oh, they're witches.
You should have stayed here to there.
Really didn't need to do that since we already broke through there and got what we needed.
I think you're being quiet. What? Let me help you.
I don't like that.
Someone there? What? What?
I'll fill my pillow with your hair!
I'll rip your guts apart! Too easily! Monster! We'll both die, but you're going...
Jindosh was tiresome. How does this even work?
Much has been said about the blind sisters of the Oracle Order. In truth, their eyes function just as well as yours or mine. However, they endeavor to become blind to distraction. Oh, we read that one.
Jindosh die? Someone got inside that strange house of his.
I don't know, Delilah. Forgive me.
What are those things?
Yeah, it's a loss.
We need to stop her now, sisters. Mono and blood, I'll have your eyes in a jar on thy death.
Give up, child. You do.
working. My bullet's not working.
See you when
Your message will cost you everything. You're not one of us.
afraid of you, aren't you?
Or everything is lost.
Your skull with uses for a pretty face.
They're all around us. Can't even see. Too many of them.
Thrice.
Anyone
That's the part
here?
I always...
What? Think you're being... Huh?
What?
What I can do? I'll grind your skull into a rusty wire. Who's running around over there? Let me help you.
Let's have a look around.
What?
I won't let her escape. See you in the void.
Stop. Let's hear how that died.
And then tell us we'd be going on a witch hunt in here. We only have one room now? I thought we had more.
Blood flies need some.
Jindosh was tiresome. How does this even work?
Nothing. Whatever then. Who's there? Huh? Whatever. But I doubt he had anything more to give us. Brianna?
Everyone you love. Everything you hold dear.
Mistress Brianna, like you asked, I stored your autograph recordings in the archive down there in the basement. And I tidied up around the oraculum just like you asked. Some of the others are talking about the old lenses you took out of that Arculum device after the accident, saying they were going to bury the lenses forever at the bottom of the ocean. Well, that didn't sound right to me, so I stored them in the effigy's workshop in case you find them some use. All my other chores are done, so I'll go prepare your lecture thizzle tea. Grateful for the second chance you've given me. Sure, over time I'll feel Delilah's presence and learn the magic. Like my coven sisters, please don't cast me out. I'll make you and Empress Delilah proud, I promise. Great.
Ashworth's journal might tell me more about why Delilah can't be killed.
Delilah, when we can't talk, I write. There are things only you will understand. Daily I feel my connection to the void growing, and through me your power calls out to those who would join our coven. New faces, new voices. Our bond is stronger than it was at Bridgemore. Yet you feel so far away. If we were together I could say more. It is as if I can see beyond the air into another time or place. You have parted a curtain I never knew was there. Oh, Delilah, strange and beautiful whispers are carried on the breeze. I am forever grateful of being your instrument. I set out to craft a new bone charm, and I hope to have it blackened. In keeping with those of greater power, it will complement the one I've carried since finding it within a mausoleum in Alba. Though it's rare to meet others touched by the void, summoners beware. For as long as I carry that bone charm, their rats and vermin will turn against them, and the new charm, if it works, will shield me against assassins. I'm still working on my protective charm, taking the Tyvian gray bone receipt and altered it, using much more burdock root. Instructions were vague, and the safeguards it offers are weak. Neither Shamonali nor Nastriamus added to the mix give me the right effect. Though they perfume the air quite nicely, I feel well protected from its unpleasant smells, but not much else. I finally got it. Illyborn, of course, fermented and reduced over a low flame. It's rare to achieve this effect, where the bone charm turns darkest black. As I wanted, I'm warded against the first bullet or bolt from an assassin's weapon. The initial shot that would fell me will instead change to blood flies in an instant.
These odd lenses might be linked to what Ashworth is working on.
The original lenses Jindosh and I devised in the Oraculum were horribly flawed. Rather than focusing the energies of the void, the faulty lenses scattered them. My head was filled with noise, and the spiritual channel linking me to Delilah's magic was nearly extinguished. I will not cease my efforts until our coven controls the Sisters of the Oracular Order. But I know now that I must proceed at grave risk. The old lenses could have been my ruin. They are stored in my workshop for now, but must be destroyed.
I meant nothing to my fine family, beyond an advantageous marriage and years of childbearing. They promised me to a man 3 times my age who wheezed on about our wedding night. But a curious thing happened on the way to the altar, Delilah. From the first time I slipped out of the manor in the dead of night, there was no returning to my cage. Looking at the stars and drinking wine on a rooftop, I was free. Instead of seeing the overseers for marriage, I visited my father's banker and raced away from my old life toward Delilah. Those were the Coven's glory days.
Would I even be in this situation if you'd lived?
A colleague of mine owns a stunning map of the world, of the known world, adorned with curlicues and sea beasts. It has a cherished spot over her mantle. She paid handsomely for it and was so bristled when I enumerated the various errors. That's a new one we haven't heard. Enumerated. See what that means. Past tense, past participle, mention a number of things one by one. There's not a space to enumerate all his works. So similar to calculate, compute, count, add up, sum up. Mention. Every veteran ship captain knows what it takes. Knows it takes months to reach those shores. I had no doubt that Pandicea was rich in resources, but a place must be understood if we ever hope to exploit its myriad treasures. These were my thoughts as I agreed to join the ill-fated expedition. Ill-fated expedition, and so it was on the 3rd day of the month of Earth, under calm gray skies, the great sea vessel Antonia Aquilio set sail with the captain, crew, researchers, and myself, 38 of us total, for what would be the most terrifying and spiritually draining experience of my life.
Like that. What? You're mine.
Are we supposed to stand in the middle or something?
hear the corruption and pain. Don't despair. There is goodness here too.
After Delilah fell to the assassin Dowd, her magic was lost, and the coven scattered. I made a new life in Karnaca. Then I heard her whispering from the void, leading me to the Duke, who heard those same whispers. Together we worked to bring Delilah back into the world, changing the Empire from the home of Aramis Stilton 3 years ago. Across the Isles, all of us who'd been with her at Brigmore and before, we felt the magic return. Others joined. New faces, new blood. Now, Delilah is immortal. Forever. She holds Dunwall, and we've turned to corrupting the oracular order. The overseers take guidance from their prophetic sisters, and soon we'll influence their dreams and visions.
We're only miles from the shore, but our approach was marred by numerous hidden reefs and jagged rocks. They lay shallow, and we spied 2 vessels that had succumbed to them some time ago. The remaining crew was uncharacteristically silent as we edged toward the weathered rakes. We don't have very much battery life left. The first mate declared a particularly narrow channel to be unpassable. But with Captain dispatched 10 crewmen into the submerged coral with sledgehammers. Thereafter, each chest deep in water, they pulled the Antonia Aquilio into the tiny channel with the ropes. Proved a marvelous solution. However, just as we were about to lower the rope ladders, tragedy struck as the men were bested by a school of reef-dwelling eels. Apparently their toxic bites were quite painful. From the railing we could see them swarming the men who begged us for aid before succumbing to the paralytic effects of the toxin. Within minutes, we were still in the water. We continued on in silence, and by sunset we had cleared the bars and put anchor in the bay, with a red rock beach and emerald overgrown beyond. I confess I was near giddy to put my feet on land again. The smell of ripening fruits and warm earth was as pleasing to me as a cherished village. We gathered wood and made fries, and indulged in some tinned meat and lemons from our stores. How good it was to slumber on the beach with the crackle of embers nearby. Having finally escaped the cramped and damp quarters of our vessel, we took turns with the watch and passed a quiet night. At last we stood in Pansian soil. At dawn, I set out. The group that forged east, we concluded 2 of the natural philosophers and 4 crewmen. We used blades to clear the vegetation that grew thickly here and slowly made our way from the shore up a steep incline. Our purpose was to gather samples of native plants for our research journals. I found myself pressing leaves and stems between the pages and taking copious notes on several species of flora that I submerged no human had ever set eyes on previously, when suddenly Mr. Young Gravitt from the academy began hopping around, screaming wildly. Copious, that's another new one. Chance had bade him pick an unfortunate place to step. Aggressive ant-like creatures swarmed him from below. So many in number were his tiny attackers that we quickly lost sight of him under their onslaught. We finally managed to pull the grappler from the insects, acquiring several painful welts. We had come to his aid. Mr. Gravitt, however, was bitten or stung and was eventually discovered. So many times he was barely recognizable, swollen into deformity over every inch of his person. Moaning like a sick bull, he expired before we could carry him back to the beach. Luckily, some of the creatures still clung to him, providing me with precious samples. Use cliffside outside office window, get over the fence, drop down into the basement through the delivery door. Special displays on the 2nd floor. Enter to the security room, grab Rosebud prototype. Don't forget to disable alarm.
can pay. I only know that I am weary. Nothing more. I'm tired. How long, my dears? How long must I endure in this shadow state?
You belong in a prison cell. Someone!
2 dead in our first day on the continent, but the new world was not stated and would have one more. None other than the captain himself. The group had found a cluster of small rodents, much like rabbits on prairie morels. The lure of fresh meat provided too much of a temptation for our good captain, who had dined on scant fish and some rations as the crew all these dreary months. He was able to grab one of the creatures with his bare hands, but the docked-out beasts were not so tame after all. Having allowed the captain to pick it up, the creature became enraged and delivered several stings from a gland hidden within its tail. The captain complained of heat and itching where the stings had penetrated, but insisted they pressed on. He died of asphyxiation within a quarter hour. It was suddenly obvious to me that at this rate of attrition, we would not only fail to sufficiently research the continent, but we might soon lack enough crew to make the return voyage. Something had to be done to save the venture, and so I immediately declared myself captain. Of course, on my orders, the remaining crew kept to the relative safety of the beach for the duration of the week. Though I sent 2 young academy students armed with nets and cages to catch a live sample of the prairie mole that had so swiftly killed the captain, as first and foremost, ours was a research expedition. So Captain got stung and died. Wired so this key should open the door, right? No, we can't walk through there. Where's the shopper?
Come on! Let's have a fair fight, gals like you! Get away! Leave me alone, you
I'll be telling this story if not too late. It shouldn't take long.
She's dead.
How come sometimes it'll heal if you press left on the D-pad, other times it won't?
Delilah fell to the assassin down. Her magic was lost, and the coven scattered. I made a new life in Karnaca. Then I heard her whispering from the void, leading me to the Duke, who heard those same whispers. Together we worked to bring Delilah back into the world, changing the Empire from the home of Stilton 3 years ago. Across the aisle, all of us who'd been with her at Brigmore and before, we felt the magic return. Others joined. New faces, new blood. Now, Delilah is immortal. Forever. She holds Dunwall, and we've turned to corrupting the oracular order. The overseers take guidance from their prophetic sisters, and soon we'll influence their dreams and visions.
Get a good save right here.
Come on. I won't hurt you.
Check around here. Think you're funny?
Come in, my friend. Welcome back. I see you found the prototype.
Your acquaintance didn't make it.
It is a risky line of work, I'm afraid, but let's not dwell. I expect you'll be interested in payment. First your finder's fee, of course, and if you like, I can draw up some schematics based on the prototype, something you can use to modify your tools. And as a token of my appreciation, a discount at the shop.
A fair deal.
What a pleasant surprise to see you again.
Blinds enemy causes witches to flee. Impact grenades explode on contact.
Ah, you want blueprints for better weaponry.
Faster reload. Okay, this is to each. Okay. Gives an advantage in locking lock sword contests.
No need to wrap it for you, I suppose.
Impact grenades explode on contact. Each stun mine functions
Valuable
additional.
artworks locked up in the conservatory where no one can see them. Truly a shame.
Increases crossbow capacity by 5.
I'm certain you will be satisfied with your purchase.
Further increases bullet storage by 5. Unlocks 2 additional bone charm.
An excellent choice.
Faster reload. Adds 1 bullet to the magazine.
I look forward to the day when I can reopen my gallery. Bloodflies are worse here than any district in Kanaka. And it used to be such a prosperous district, too. This is what I have for upgrading your equipment.
Adds another bullet to the magazine.
Farewell. And do think of us again.
Farewell. Alright, I think we passed this part.
You had it. You asked for it. What?
So it's done.
Ashworth won't be a problem anymore.
Good. But Emily, there's something else. Back when I lived in Dunwall, I did things that I'm not proud of.
Isn't that a requirement for citizenship?
What I've got to say is not a joke. I knew Delilah and Ashworth. Bought into their bullshit. Which led me down a bad road. To be honest, before all this, I thought Delilah dead. I don't want to get into it right now. But I felt like you should know. There are things I regret.
You never know who to trust, do you?
Everybody makes mistakes, Empress. You'll have to tell me all your secrets someday. Are you ready to leave now?
Yes. Let's go. Take me back to the Dreadful Whale.
Another step toward the Duke of Serkonos and Delilah.
For several years, Delilah's been here, getting stronger, turning people against me. Why didn't I see it coming? What was I doing during that time? Pretending to listen at court, ruling through an army of bureaucrats, waiting for the next chance to get free of Dunwall Tower. Well, now I'm free. If only I could go back. Aramis Stilton was once an ally of the Duke. The owner of Karnaka's mines, Stilton lived in a fortified bunker at the heart of the Dust District. No one's seen him for years, since around the time Delilah started making her moves. But whether Stilton's alive or dead, his home holds the key to Delilah's immortality.
Listen to me, talking to myself like you. Macon is out in the city, but I'll explain.
I need to know why Delilah can't be killed. Everything we've learned implies that something strange happened at Aramis Stilton's home 3 years ago, but then he disappeared.
Stilton lived in a bunker kept secure by a fancy lock made by Jindosh. Maybe inside you'll learn more about how to stop Delilah.
But I have to get there first. Through a ruin created by the Duke, where my father grew up.
Megan had an intriguing idea. Paolo is leader of the Howlers. He wants Vice Overseer Byrne killed. And of course, Byrne wants Paolo dead too. Both groups will attack you on sight, but walk in with the corpse of their chief enemy, and they'll treat you like family.
You think they'll help me get into Aramis Stilton's home?
I'm pretty sure that will work.
Seeing this place and these people, I can feel my perspective changing. How will I be different after this? The Dust District. I've read about the winds coming through the cleft in Shindaray Peak, how the city uses it for windmills and mining operations. The Vice Overseer for Karnaka, Liam Byrne. Paolo's not that old, but there's so much living written into the lines of his face.
Ready now?
Ready.
I'll get you as close as I can.
Who was the man I'm after? Aramis Stilton?
An ally to the old Duke, loyal and smart. Stilton helped build modern Karnaca with those silver mines. Started as a miner, and worked his way up until he was a prince of industry. But now, the new Duke drives the mine crews night and day. Dust falls non-stop onto the district. What was once prosperous is now in ruins.
I suppose the Duke doesn't care, as long as he sips from silver cups.
And what are the cups at Dunwall Tower made from, Empress? In any case, you'll have to pass through the Dust District to reach Stilton's home. Maybe he's still in there, or maybe he's dead. Once you reach the Dust District, she'll tell you more. I'll wait here with the skiff and take you back to the dreadful whale after you finish.